Dear students, in this lecture, we will prove that R is complete matrix space. From real analysis point of view, we can say that every Cauchy sequence of real numbers is convergent. Every Cauchy sequence of real numbers is convergent. So let us prove this result. Theorem. Let Sn n is equal to 1 to infinity be a Cauchy sequence of real numbers. Be a Cauchy sequence of real numbers. Be a Cauchy sequence of real numbers. Then Sn n is equal to 1 to infinity is convergent in R. Sn n is equal to 1 to infinity is convergent in R, or the statement is from matrix spaces R is complete matrix space. R is complete matrix space. Let us see proof of this theorem. Before we begin the proof, let me remark that this is one of the fundamental results in real analysis, because this statement is equivalent to the following statement. This statement which I am writing, this is equivalent to LUB axiom. What is LUB axiom? LUB axiom states that every non-empty and upper bounded, every non-empty and upper bounded sequence of real numbers, every non-empty and upper bounded sequence of real numbers has LUB or supremum, has LUB, least upper bound or supremum. This is equivalent to axiom. That's why this is a fundamental result. It is equivalent means what? Using a LUB axiom, we can prove that R is complete, and conversely, using the fact that R is complete, we can prove LUB axiom. And for this reason, LUB axiom is also called as completeness axiom. It is equivalent to this statement, and that's why LUB axiom is also called as completeness axiom. Okay. One more thing, without using LUB axiom, we cannot prove that R is complete, because it is equivalent to axiom. Axiom means whose validity we accept without proof. So, without assuming or without assuming the validity of LUB axiom, we cannot prove that R is complete. Okay. So remember this statement, R is complete matrix space, that is every Cauchy sequence of real numbers is convergent in R. Proof: for every positive integer n, define small mn as greatest lower bound of the set Sn, Sn plus 1 and so on, and capital Mn is equal to LUB of the set Sn, Sn plus 1 and so on. So we have seen this in limit inferior and limit superior. As Sn n is equal to 1 to infinity is Cauchy, it is bounded. It is bounded. In the previous lecture, we have proved that every Cauchy sequence is bounded. And by definition of limit inferior and limit superior, if both are bounded, small mn and capital Mn, why they are bounded? Because Sn is bounded. We have, so for bounded sequence, we will have limit inferior of Sn, limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit of Mn, small mn, and limit superior of Sn is equal to limit of capital Mn, as n tends to infinity. So this is our first statement. Basically, this proof will make use of this inequality. Lower bound is always less equal to greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound is always less equal to least upper bound, and least upper bound is always less equal to upper bound. Okay. So first we are using this fact. Greatest lower bound is less equal to least upper bound for any set. For any n belongs to I, we have greatest lower bound is less equal to least upper bound. So small mn is less equal to capital Mn. Hence, on taking limit as n tends to infinity, we will have, so taking limit as n tends to infinity, taking limit as n tends to infinity, we have this limit exists finitely, as we have seen here. So we have limit of small mn is less equal to limit of capital Mn as n tends to infinity. So from first, we have limit inferior of Sn is less equal to limit superior of Sn. So this is our second statement. and you may give the reason or specify the reference from first. We are writing this. Now let me explain the key idea of the proof. As I mentioned, the proof is based on this simple inequality. Lower bound is always less equal to greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound is always less equal to least upper bound, and least upper bound is less equal to upper bound. So using this inequality, we are going to prove the reverse inequality, that limit superior of Sn is less equal to limit inferior of Sn. And once these two numbers are equal, limit inferior and limit superior, then limit of Sn will exist, that is Sn is convergent in R. Okay. So let us prove this using the Cauchy sequence. Now we will use the definition of Cauchy sequence. Take epsilon greater than 0. Since Sn n is equal to 1 to infinity is Cauchy sequence there is n belongs to I such that if m and n are greater or equal to n, then distance between Sm and Sn is less than epsilon by 2. We can always make adjustments to this epsilon. As epsilon is arbitrary, we can replace epsilon by 2, epsilon by 4, epsilon square, and so on. So here we are taking epsilon by 2. What is meaning of Cauchy sequence? If m and n are sufficiently large, then we can make them as close as we want. So Sm and Sn are close, that is less than, their distance between them is less than epsilon by 2 when they are greater or equal to n, when m and n are greater or equal to n. In particular, for n is equal to n or m is equal to n, I can take. In particular, for m is equal to n, what we have, if n is greater or equal to n, so what values we can assign to m and n? Any value greater or equal to n. In particular, I am taking m equal to n. So here I have Sn minus Sn is less than epsilon by 2. This implies that n is greater or equal to n implies Sn lies between Sn minus epsilon by 2 and Sn plus epsilon by 2. This Sn lies between Sn minus epsilon by 2 and Sn plus epsilon by 2. This further implies that we have Sn minus epsilon by 2 is lower bound of the set of the set Sn plus 1 and so on, and Sn plus epsilon by 2 is upper bound of the set Sn plus 1, Sn plus 2 and so on, whenever n is greater or equal to n. This further implies that now is the point to use the basic inequality which I told you for bounded sets. The inequality is lower bound is less equal to greatest lower bound is less equal to least upper bound, and it is less equal to upper bound. Okay. So we have, what is lower bound? First of all, note that this will hold only when n is greater or equal to n. Okay. So what is lower bound of this set? It is Mn. It is Sn minus epsilon by 2. So lower bound is Sn minus epsilon by 2. What is greatest lower bound? It is Mn, small mn. What is least upper bound of this set? At the very beginning we have defined this. So least upper bound of this set is capital Mn. And what is its upper bound? Its upper bound is Sn plus epsilon by 2. So Sn plus epsilon by 2. Okay. This is key step of the proof. We are using this inequality, and using this inequality we are writing this. So this implies that Sn minus epsilon by 2 is less equal to small mn. Small mn is less equal to capital Mn, and it is less equal to Sn plus epsilon by 2. So this basic inequality we are using. Okay. Now this implies that if n is greater or equal to n, then, so let me give you a simple analogy here. If we have 4 points, say A, B, C and D, or let me say P, Q, R and S. So it is clear that distance between Q and R will be less equal to distance between P and S. So what is distance between Q and R? It is this distance. So I mean this, Mn minus Mn is less equal to distance between P and S, that is this point and this point. So it is Sn plus epsilon by 2 minus Sn plus epsilon by 2 minus Sn, minus minus plus, so plus epsilon by 2. Okay. So with this you could write it as n is greater or equal to n implies Mn minus Mn is less equal to epsilon. This implies n is greater or equal to n implies Mn is less equal to small mn plus epsilon. We are now in a position to take limits. Limits of these sequences exist finitely. We have seen this at the very beginning. So this implies limit, this relation holds for all n except finitely many terms, except for first n minus 1 term, this holds, hence we can take limit. So this implies that limit of capital Mn is less equal to limit of small mn, and this is a constant with respect to n, so it will be as it is, or limit of constant sequence is itself. So that way you have to interpret. But from first, you refer to the first statement. From first, what can we write? This implies that limit of superior of Sn is less equal to limit inferior of Sn plus epsilon. This holds for every epsilon greater than 0. This holds for every epsilon greater than 0. Hence, so we are going to use one result. Let me tell you the result which we are using here. The result is that if L is less equal to m plus epsilon for every epsilon greater than 0, then L is always less equal to m. So here what is L? L is limit superior and m is limit inferior. Sorry, here I should write limit inferior. So limit inferior of Sn. So L is limit superior and m is limit inferior. So using this result, we can say L is less equal to m, that is limit n tends to infinity, supremum of Sn is less equal to limit inferior of Sn. Say this is our third statement. And one more thing, as I mentioned, this we are writing from first. If you want, you can give reference here for this step. Okay. So from second and third, what can we say? This was our second statement. It is third statement. So let me continue the proof. From second and third, we could write that limit inferior of Sn equals to limit superior of Sn, and we know that if limit inferior and limit superior are equal, then this implies that limit of Sn exists finitely and it equals to this, that is, this implies that limit of Sn exists finitely and we have limit of Sn equals to limit inferior which equals to limit superior, Okay. So Sn n is equal to 1 to infinity converges. It is convergent. We proved that every Cauchy sequence of real numbers is convergent. Thank you.